This is the HAMMERMILL printer paper. It comes in the standard 8.5 by 11-inch letter size, with 8 reams and 4,000 sheets in the box. Each sheet is 20-pound copy paper with a brightness rating of 92. If you're thinking about picking one up, I just want to walk you through my experience. I mainly use this paper for everyday printing. That includes forms, shipping labels, notes, drafts, receipts, and longer black and white documents. I have used it in both a laser printer and an inkjet printer. Loading it does not require anything special. I open a ream, straighten the stack, place it in the tray, and adjust the paper guides. The box is heavy because it holds 8 full reams. I would keep that in mind if carrying it upstairs or moving it around an office. The individual reams are much easier to handle. I usually leave most of them in the box and open one only when I need it. That helps keep the unused sheets away from dust and moisture. The paper feels like normal 20-pound office paper. It is light and flexible, with a smooth surface. It does not have the thicker feel of 24-pound or 32-pound paper. I would not choose it for a formal presentation cover, a certificate, or something that needs to feel substantial. For regular copies and daily paperwork, the weight makes sense. The white color looks clean without being unusually bright. Black text is good contrast and is easy to read. Small text also comes out clearly when the printer settings are correct. I have printed spreadsheets, forms, and documents with fine lines, and the results have been consistent. Inkjet printing has worked well for basic documents. The ink dries quickly enough that I can pick up a page and place it in a stack without smearing it. I still give pages with large color areas a little more time before touching them. That has more to do with the amount of ink than the paper itself. Color graphics look fine for handouts and basic charts. I would not use this paper for photos or color-heavy presentation pages. The sheet is too light for that kind of printing. Heavy ink coverage can make it feel slightly damp or cause a little waviness. Some color may also show through the back. My laser printer has handled this paper without much trouble. The sheets feed evenly, and I have not dealt with frequent jams or several pages getting pulled in at once. The packaging mentions a 99.99% jam-free guarantee. I cannot confirm that exact number for my own use, but the feeding has been reliable for me. I did notice a small amount of curling after a long laser print run. The pages flattened once they cooled and sat in a stack. It did not stop me from using them, but it is something I noticed when printing many pages at once. Keeping the paper in a dry room also seems to help it stay flat. Double-sided printing is practical for text documents. I use it when I want to reduce the number of pages in a packet. Regular black text does not bleed through, though I can see a faint shadow when I hold the page up to light. Dark images and large blocks of color are easier to see from the other side. For double-sided reports with a lot of color, I would use thicker paper. The 4,000 sheet capacity is useful when I print often. I do not have to keep buying single reams, and I can store the extras until I need them. It also takes up a fair amount of room. The box fits under a desk or on a sturdy shelf, but it is not a small package. I would check the available storage space before ordering this quantity. One concern I had was whether the paper wrappers would stay intact during shipping. Most of mine were fine, but paper wrapping can tear if the box gets handled roughly. A torn wrapper can expose the edges to moisture or dust. I check each ream when the box arrives. If I see a small tear, I use that ream before the sealed ones. Compared with lower-cost copy paper I have used, this feels more consistent from sheet to sheet. I have had cheaper paper that created more dust inside the tray or pulled 2 sheets at once.
I have not noticed much of that here.
The difference is not dramatic, but it becomes more noticeable during longer print jobs. Compared with heavier paper, this is easier to use in large quantities and takes up less space in binders. The trade-off is that it feels less substantial. A long report printed on both sides can also show some shadowing. I see this as routine work paper rather than paper for an important client packet or display piece. The paper is acid-free, which matters to me when I store records for a long time. Older low-quality sheets can yellow or become brittle. I have not had these sheets long enough to judge them over decades, but the acid-free specification is useful for documents that need to stay in a file. The package also says the paper is made in the USA and lists responsible forestry certifications. I appreciate having that information, though my main concern is still how the paper behaves in daily printing. In that area, it has been dependable and easy to manage. I think this pack makes sense for home office, schoolwork, administrative documents, forms, drafts, and regular copy jobs. It is also practical when several people share one printer and go through paper quickly. I would skip the 8-ream box if I print only a few pages each month. A smaller pack would be easier to store. My main positives are the steady feeding, clear text, quick drying for basic inkjet pages, and the large supply. The downsides are the weight of the full box, possible wrapper damage during delivery, minor curling after long laser runs, and some show-through with heavy double-sided printing. I would recommend it for regular printing if 20-pound paper is what I need and I have space for 4,000 sheets. I would choose something thicker for photos, formal presentations, or pages with a lot of color. If there is anything else you want to know about how it handles daily printing, leave a question in the comments. Please check the comments section for detailed information about the HAMMERMILL printer paper. Thank you for watching.